So right now we're headed to my mom's grave site. Well, I like my mom's resting place. And I haven't been here in a little minute, probably like a year. I'm going here now because since I got my accolades and stuff like that, since I've got them, like I haven't had a conversation with my mom or anything like that.
With the 98th pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Quincy Williams.
The fact that he's comfortable now that he has his contract.
Shout out to Quincy Williams, first team AP All-Pro.
My mom meant everything, meant a lot. She was like the glue to the family, really. So she was the person, the therapist, the nutritionist. So she was that person. She was also a school teacher too, though. So she was one that helped us out a lot with our school and stuff like that. Basically learning a lot of my life lessons through her and stuff like that too, though. Lessons that I still use today. A lot of the lessons that came back and was just like, finally I know what she meant. Like I still have those type moments now. In my head, every single time I step on the field, I look in the sky and I be like, she got the best seat in the house. On Mother's Day, I'm gonna come out here, bring some flowers and stuff. Just sit out here and chill, have a little conversation, catch up. That's the most important thing. Got a lot going on in life, man.
WMJJ HD2 Birmingham. Birmingham's home for hip-hop
and R&B.
Yeah. The new 104.1 The Beat.
Birmingham, Alabama is how I describe it. I don't really know how I describe it. It's a lot going on here.
I've been in this is the only place I've ever lived. This is where my mom lived, and I just love it here.
We're in my grandmother's house, and this is where a lot of my childhood was at. We had a lot of great memories, learned a lot of lessons here also. It was a lot of fun. This is why I still come, have those conversations out here on the porch, actually.
This is where they usually jump off the rail, and we were planting flowers and doing different things, but this is where they usually would jump off the rail, and their granddaddy would always get at them. His rule is you cannot put your foot on the rail, but they would just jump over the rail.
Growing up, it was like a family-oriented type city too, though. So it was more like hanging out. We played manhunt a lot, rode bikes, had like bike crews and stuff like that. So it was a lot of fun growing up. All right, look, y'all. Well, you can spend your whole life on this one street, y'all. So like, we're gonna go past my past my middle school, past my daycare, and all that all in one spot right here.
Quincy was a person who always ran. They would call him road runner because when he was in kindergarten, he would just run. I don't know. He just always ran, and very memorable. Never got in trouble at school.
They didn't actually tore it down, yeah. That's where my daycare was right there. Where that little patch at right there, that was the daycare. Then this is middle school. This is actually a K through 5 right here. So you can go daycare, K through 5. Then 6th grade is right here. No, this K through 8 now. This is my elementary school. It's actually closed down. But this is my elementary school. My grandma taught here.
He was in my first grade class. I had when I taught school, and he was in my class. At school, he couldn't call me grandmother, grand, anything. I was Miss Henderson. And Quinton, he wasn't in my class, but he also attended the same school where I worked. He would have to call me Miss Henderson, and to this day, he still calls me Miss Henderson.
Like my Little League football team is also here too, though, around here. It's a lot of memories down here. Yeah, every time I think about where I'm at right now, I always think about where I started at. I always think about like the workouts I used to do. We used to take off walking and we'll get like a little warm up in. Then we'll start off running. Then we'll go past the elementary school. Then we'll keep going around. Then it'll probably end up being like 2 miles all of a sudden. And we'll come in for a protein shake, chill for a little minute, get ready for school. Then have to go to school. Think about it. It's still all before school. Every time I tell that story about everybody, they be like, oh, my dad was hard on me and things. I said, no, yeah. My dad was like behind us with a truck, like, son, this the tempo for the day. Like, we gonna get better today. And in my head, I was like, man, this is torture. But when I got to college, I actually like, it opened my eyes to be like, no excuses. There was like no certain thing is like, I don't really have anything to train with. Like, the beginning of my career, I didn't have anything to train with. Like, so I think it was good that he did that, honestly. Now, we ain't been on this street in a minute. I feel like since my mom passed almost. So this is the house I grew up with my mom, my dad, and my siblings all together. For real, it's a lot of memories in there.
My daughter, Marquisha Henderson Williams, as she would want, that's how she did her name. And she also taught school, and every day she would go to work, I went to work. I would pick them up for school because they went to the same school where I worked. But I would pick them up every morning and bring them back. And usually in the evening, she would pick them up from here and cook dinner here and do lessons because she was also in school at the time. And she would leave work and sit at the table right there and there and do her a lesson for her graduate class.
What made my mom special, the number one thing was that she was selfless. That's the biggest thing. So like, wasn't selfish at all. So she got her in like happiness, enjoyment out of helping others. So I felt like I kind of took that. She wanted to just always just brighten up a room when we come in, no matter, because somebody else might be going through something tougher than we going through. Watching my mom battle through breast cancer, the first time was one of those things where you felt like what are you supposed to do? Like, all right, it's the end, like all that type of stuff, but then she ended up beating it though.
Growing up, she was a model mother. She got sick and she would still do the same thing she would do. And she never stopped. Her mother would always tell her, how you need to slow down. But she knew she had the 4 kids and she was willing to, time she got to the hospital, she went out maybe a couple of weeks or 3 and she would be right back at work. But as a mother, I didn't want that to happen, but that's what she would do.
When we found out the last time that she had it, I was in middle school and I was actually going to high school. That was the thing. And she actually passed 18 days before my birthday. So it's kind of like one of those things where it's during fall camp in August or like camp period. So we was always going to practice, going to work and like going up to the hospital and things like that. But every time we got to the hospital, the first thing she asked was like, how was practice? So it was like, her passion was kind of like football too though. So it's like, how y'all doing in football, but also how y'all doing in school too though. So like I said, she always took it off her and put it on to like checking on everyone else. And like, long as we were doing good, it made her feel good. It
affected them because they, to be honest, she really didn't let them know that she was sick. So they really didn't know until close to the end that she was how sick she really was. She kind of kept that from them. Everything still went on. We still went on vacation. We still participated with their football and going to games. She never stopped doing that. So they didn't really get a good glimpse of what was really going on till later into the her sickness. But I think even now, they was in 2010, they're still affected by it.
Well, after she passed, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, I went down a rabbit hole. I'm gonna be honest with you, because my mom was the person that I talked to about everything. She was like my outlet to everything. So when she passed, I kind of felt like God had took a person from me that I like talk and have therapy with. So my granddad is actually a preacher, and he came up and he told me this story about this man who was on the beach, and he told God, and God said, "I never leave you or forsake you." And he told he looked back and he only seen one set of footsteps, and he said, "God, thought you said you'll never leave me or forsake me." And he turned around and told him, like, "Son, I've been carrying you this whole time." So I kind of took that mindset of like, my mom didn't leave me, she's just carrying me through life. Like, I'm looking around, it's just me here, but she's like living through me, so she's carrying me every step of the way now. So after my mom passed, this is the transitional period where we came over here because my dad did work a lot. He still provided for the family, but most importantly, we leaned on my grandmother as far as like to basically finish out what my mom had did, and she did a great job stepping up, doing that as far as the nurturing part, as far as the still teaching us lessons.
What was it like when everyone kind of moved in here? What was that like?
A lot of children, me starting over, trying to, I was still the person who carried them to practice, picked them up. Their sister was cheering, they were doing football, so I was picking up her from cheering. Then at the end of the games, had to pick them up from there. It was then still working. So it wasn't bad because I knew, that was something I had to do. My son, the baby, he was grown at the time. So it was like starting over for me.
My grandma's like real big on sports. She's like the sideline coach too though. So actually it's been like a couple of articles when my grandma came out. She'll call us, give us constructive criticism, and then tell us like, but you played a good game though. But first you're gonna get out there constructive criticism first.
If you didn't keep your grades up, you could not play. That was, so they did keep their grades up so they could play. And they were basically, when they got out of school, they were doing, practicing, and by the time they get home, it's time to eat, get work, go to bed. So it was just like a routine with them. And doing that, it was easy because the rule was the night before you had to have everything that you were going to have to put on the next day, down to your shoes and socks laid out so I could see it. So the next morning, all they do was get up, put on their things, and go. So it wasn't hard because it was a routine that I had put in place for them.
So when my mom passed, I felt like I had a lot of pressure, and then it's kind of like the mindset was like, what am I supposed to do? I didn't have a lot of answer and things like that. And then my granddad basically told me like, your siblings are also going through it too, so like y'all are learning together, so lean on each other. So the biggest thing, like that's when we all got close together. It was only four of us really, and then also my cousin, that's my first cousin too though. So he's like my big brother, Shamarquis. So we all just leaned in together, had conversations with each other. Like anytime someone felt some type of way or things like that, we kind of shared it within each other, and it was a support system for ourselves. So the way I started playing football, I was 9 years old. Quincy was a year and a half younger than me, about a half younger than me. And the argument was, my tackles are worth more than your gold medals. And I was like, bro, I'm a swimmer. I got gold medals. It's gold.
What did you swim again when you were growing up? And did you think, like, when you were rocking and rolling that, hey, I'm gonna maybe be an Olympic swimmer as opposed to an NFL player?
Oh man, to be honest, it really came to that. It was more like a thought process, sitting down and being like, all right now, weigh the pros and cons, and be like, all right, because it got to a point where I was doing both, but you had to lose so much weight swimming.
What was your stroke?
So my stroke was sprint medley. I was freestyle, hated butterfly, breaststroke, 50 freestyle, I was winning. Hands down, Olympic size pool, I'm winning. My mom told us that she wanted all of us to get a college degree, and that was when it came about like, all right, Quincy, coming into high school, are you gonna play football or are you gonna be an Olympic swimmer? And I was like, dang, well, I gotta get a college degree, so which one can I go to college for? And then, so that was my mindset going in, and it was like, all right, you can actually go to college for both of them. So then it was like, all right, which one am I gonna have more fun in? Like, I'm gonna have fun in both of them. And then it was like, all right, well, what my siblings doing? Because I still want to get a connection to them. And of course, my brother's playing football, so that's why I stuck with football, because like it was still keeping up with my siblings too, though.
At first, he was trying to do both. It wasn't working because you had to go a distance from here to go to where they were having swim meets. So he decided he wanted to play football. I was glad because, like I said, we could just focus on one sport, and we had to do all those extra trips that we were doing, trying to be everywhere at once. But and Coach Cheatham was a good help because if they did anything, Coach Cheatham was going to call me. I think he had my number on speed dial because if they did anything, he was going to call and let me know.
I played track, ran track, what else? Relay, high jump, then played football, of course.
What y'all don't know is, and that's just my personal opinion, I always say he's a better running back than defensive player. I always told him that.
Man, a lot of
I
people
thought
say
he was
that.
a
That's
better
crazy.
running back. Y'all ain't seen him run that football. Man.
I like that contact though.
But he was a dog both, but I still say he's a better running back. But I mean, he in the league for defense, so I can't, I guess I'm wrong.
He was a quiet guy, but his work ethic was second to none. He ran track. He was a state championship. I know he was a state championship track guy. And then I know on the football field, he played running back. He had an issue with fumbling, so he didn't carry the ball a lot, but he was probably one of the best linebackers that I had seen. And Quentin came in. Quentin came in. He wasn't as big as he is now. He was more slimmer. And he came in. He was more of the baby. And he worked hard too, and I watched him grow over the years to the word that comes to mind is monster.
The first time I saw Quentin, now, because Quentin was short, that's why I remember that so vaguely. So he came with his brother, whatever, to practice. We came with Quincy to practice one day. We were having spring training. And I was like, this little dude. So that's what I saw him as, a little chubby kid. And having Quincy, who was this former swimmer, he was a guy who loved the weight room. So looking at his body type and then saying, Quentin, you were wondering, what in the world? But then over the summer, when he came back for summer training, he had grown. I think he's probably maybe 4 or 5 inches. He was huge.
No suspense in Winona High School's Quinton Williams' decision for college football. He showed up in full Alabama gear.
When you look at the future, what do you see?
In the future, I see Alabama with another championship, a couple of more before I leave, and I'm really hoping if I can go to the next level, Alabama can push me to the next level.
My senior year, I got to play with both of my brothers. So I have a younger brother also, Giovanni Williams, that plays at Miles College. So he plays linebacker and D-line also. So we were called the great trio in high school. So it was like, it looked like a triangle. So it was D lineman, Quentin, D lineman, Giovanni, and then it was me at linebacker. So it looks like a triangle. And then after a while, they realized that G's a lot faster than people give him. So then he moved to linebacker. So then it was 2 linebackers and then 1 D lineman. And then, so it just led after that. So we all went to the same high school too, though. So I was the captain. Then I left, then Quentin was the captain. Then he left, then Giovanni was the captain. So the biggest thing, we kind of competed with each other. All right. I do got to stop right here because this hill right here was a punishment hill, but it also turned a lot of football players into basketball players. Then one hill. It's a straight drop off. You running straight up the wall almost. We started from that wall over there, ran all the way up here to touch this wall right here. All the way down. All the way down to up, that's 1.
What do you remember about those days,
Really, the camaraderie of the team, like, that's really where you found out your why. Like, what's your reason to playing football? Like, what's your reason to really be here? Because, like, a lot of people quit and things like that. You don't really want no quitters on your team. You want somebody who when things get hard, they lean back on their why. A lot of the stuff that I do now, I learned from Quentin, like learning the game of football. Yeah, I gotta remember, I was a swimmer before I played football. So coming into high school, Quentin taught me everything, like far as like these the positions, almost down to these the positions on the field. This is what this person do. This is this type zone, this type coverage and stuff. So I probably would have sunk.
When we watch film with Quincy, we had this saying like he's like a blur, because from sideline to sideline, he was so fast. We could hardly keep up with him on film.
Yeah, we can talk about the blur. That's what we used to call Quincy, the blur. Because he would always see him in the beginning of a play, and wherever the ball was, he's there.
So I started off at running back, and I was one of those guys that always ran into the players, just like punish them. And he was like, man, the objective is to run away from defenders and run to the end zone. And I was like, nah, I think I actually like punishing people. So the linebacker coach at the time, Coach Henry Pope, he actually told me like, hey, come play linebacker real quick. And after that, I was like, bro, I literally get to hit people as hard as I can for fun. And he was like, yeah, and you also can get paid to do it. And I was like, oh, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, then literally punish people and get paid for it. Like, within the lines, of course.
He actually didn't get overlooked. Believe it or not, I used to talk to him about Georgia. Georgia was one of the schools that was really interested in him then. I've been a Georgia fan because I'm from Atlanta. And I really thought he was going there. And he had a few grade issues he had to clean up. And that's why he dropped and ended up going to a smaller school.
It's an easy way and a hard way to get to college. So I took the hard way to get to college. I didn't like school. My mom had passed. I'm not using that as an excuse, but I just didn't really care about school after that. So my mind was other places, with that being said. So my senior year, I ended up having to take like all core classes and stuff like that and catch up to even be eligible.
He's a 5'11" linebacker, and I mean, as fast as he was, and then he had a little grade thing too. His grades were like borderline as a junior. So people looked at his grades as a questionable situation. I mean, he had some interest from SEC schools, but again, when you start talking about he was 5'11", plus everybody was not too keen in of him being, he was an automatic qualifier in 11th grade. So it kind of made it a little bit different for him. It made it a little bit more of a longer road around.
I had to go to a smaller school, and Murray State took a chance on me, so I was very, very grateful about that. But like I always say, like, it's not about where you go, it's about what you do when you get there.
And then when he got to Murray, and they ended up moving him to safety, he called me and told me they were going to move him to safety. And I said, I wish I could talk to your coaching staff, because if they got you at safety, they're missing out on the greatest athlete they got on their football team.
Are you ready? Okay. As we continue our 2018 OVC Football Media Day activities here from Nashville, Tennessee, we welcome in Murray State senior linebacker Quincy Williams from Birmingham, Alabama. And what do you think about all this, Quincy? This is really, really neat thing today.
Yeah.
That's right. You got your own.
My general thoughts on the upcoming season is going to be one to remember.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Coach Boone, he pulled me into his office, and he was like, hey, man, you actually get paid to do this. And I was like, I'm at Murray State, but ain't nobody ever came from Murray State.
Go be elite.
That's why I first learned about the silent tape. So he was like, when you don't talk to anyone, they only look at your tape and like, what do they say? And so that was like the mindset. I'm like, dang, what do people say when they watch my tape?
Both times, 3rd and 1. Did they stop him? Where will the spot be? Williams stepped up and made the tackle.
Yeah!
Legendary is not defined by how successful you are. It's defined by how you bounce back from. I like that.
It's too short.
I'm baby. He'll be one of my quarter of the days.
I've been knowing them since high school, since they were man, studs that we know in the high school here in Birmingham. And, man, just saw then, man, they were just awesome talents, man, and just better kids, even better kids. And it stuck out like a sore thumb when you saw them play, that they definitely had what it took to go to the next level. And I knew, it was going to be one day, man, that they were going to get the opportunity to, man, be able and to go and follow their dreams and change their families' lives forever, for sure, man.
Never crossed my mind, seriously. I'm being honest with you. I'm just like, they could play and they were good, but I never saw that far ahead. I was just trying to make sure that they had everything they needed in place to succeed where they were.
When Q got ready to come out of Murray State, we really kind of locked in, and he just came to me one day and was like, yeah, man, I need you to get me ready for the league, for the NFL. I'm like, man, dude, let's do it. Let's go, and we had conversations where, by him being in the position that he was in, as far as from a smaller school, man, it was going to take a little bit. But the thing is, what he was able to do at Murray State, and like I said, no matter where you go, the league will find you. He had dang good tape, man. If you look at his college film, it's a lot of similarities to what you see now, even in the NFL. He's flying around the ball, man, always around the ball. The big hits with the uppercuts and stuff. You saw that he did. He's been doing that since college. So, the thing is, man, he's always kind of, I like to kind of call it, had the juice, man, to get to do what he needed to do.
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody for being here today. This is kind of a tradition that we started here for, guys that have done an outstanding job for the University of Alabama.
My 3 years at Alabama has been some of the best of my life. With that being said, I believe that it's time for me to take a next step in my football career and declare for the NFL draft. Thank you so much for the great 3 years, and forever Roll Tide.
I was my senior year, so it was like, hey, you're declaring for the draft. So when Quinton actually called me, he was like, hey, bro, how you feel about me declaring for the draft? And I was like, bro, it's going to be amazing, bro. Like, you should do it. Like, we're going to be doing this together. But the draft process, man, it was kind of crazy because, of course, he was like the face and all that kind of stuff.
He's a national champion and arguably, as you just heard, the best player on what many consider the best defense in college football.
And it was like, oh, wait, he got an older brother, too?
What are your plans to watch the draft?
I don't know. I'm gonna be at the draft, so.
Are you really?
Yeah, Quinton Williams, hey, top 5 pick, so I gotta support my little bro.
Timeout. Is it really your little brother?
Quinton Williams is my little brother. We're a year and some months apart.
And holy Quincy.
Even when he was coming out in his draft, a lot of people, some people knew him, some people didn't. But that was just one of the conversations we had, like, dude, let's freaking put the world on notice, man, of who you are and what you do.
Let's talk Combine really quick. What was the question you got the most?
I didn't go to the Combine, but
what?
I did.
Were you pissed?
The invite. I had a chip on my shoulder about it.
So not getting invited to the Combine wasn't really like a big deal to me, I'm gonna be honest with you, because there's a lot of players that's been great that didn't go to the Combine. But actually at the Combine, my brother told me, he was like, bro, we don't sleep at all at the Combine. So I was like, all right, bet, good, I didn't go to that. But the most important thing was like that silent tape though. So like I ended up hanging out with my boy Lamont. He was like, bro, you should post your film and stuff. So we ended up making a random YouTube channel and just posting my tape on YouTube and then posted it on Twitter. And then I woke up one morning, bro, and it just took off. Then like all these other coaches, all these other teams started like tagging me and stuff like that.
And Twitter absolutely went crazy. You had a lot of people like, oh my God, we didn't know Quinton Williams had a older brother that was in the same draft. It went absolutely crazy. And I think one thing we did, we made sure we kind of tagged the NFL. We tagged different NFL teams and all of that. And my phone, I know it was constantly just people re-tagging, retweeting, and I think that was a good piece of the puzzle where we were able to really, kind of put him on notice.
I got an invite to one of the Senior Bowls and things like that. So like that was my mindset. Like all I needed was a shot. And so I got a chance to actually play against what they consider high caliber players. So these will be like what they consider like league prospects right here. So now I got this time to show my silent tape, like show what I'm capable of. Like I'm not at Murray State anymore, like I'm with those guys.
And then, I mean, we went on through the process, had a phenomenal pro day, and were able to get a good bit of visits. I mean, we literally had teams that literally came to Birmingham to work him. I can remember one particular situation. I can't remember the team, but I think he was doing his private workout with him, and I think he broke the coach's arm or something. I can't remember. I can't remember exactly what team that was, but. Yeah,
Jets, bro.
It was the Jets.
So that's our D coordinator right now. You talking about that?
Sure damn was. Yeah.
Good evening, Nashville. Welcome to Music City, home of the 2019 NFL Draft.
And draft day was amazing. We was in Nashville. First of all, the reason why I went to the draft was only to support my brother. Like, I didn't know when I was getting drafted, where I was getting drafted at. I mean, I just told we had different agents at the time, so I told my agent, like, hey, I don't really care about none of that. Like, hey, I'm here for my brother. Like, I'm focused on my brother today. So day one, got dressed, looked out to him.
How excited are you for this night to finally be here and to hear your name called?
Man, it's amazing, man. It's just an amazing thing, man, just to be here at this moment. Something I've been thinking about when I was 6 years old.
With the third pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Quinnen Williams, nose tackle, Alabama.
Draft night, man, they called his name, bro. It was like all our dreams came true, bro. Like just his name being called, bro. I was like, bro, we talked about this so much. We gave constructive criticism during the season, then college and stuff. Then we talked during the draft process and stuff. So it's kind of like full circle moment.
So it is a member of the Crimson Tide that is going to play for the New York Jets.
But I know there gotta be a way out of the pressure. Building up, feeling lesser. Guilty staying for lunch. Same preparing the breakfast. My heart is beating too fast.
He ended up going to the Jets that day, and I was gonna fly with him. And then my agent stopped me. It's like, hey, I'm hearing word that you're gonna get taken like day 2, so like you're gonna have to stay. So I'm like, all right, bet. But I kind of felt bad that I wasn't there to like go with my brother to see like what his face looked like on his first experience at the Jets. I actually got a chance to do this amazing video for him for after the draft. It was a lot of fun. What's up, little bro? It's been a crazy few months, crazy few weeks, and it's finally here, man. I'm very proud of you. My family's very proud of you, and most importantly, mom's out there looking at you, very proud also. And then my brother was actually the first person to call me before the team even called me. So he was like, bro, you finna get drafted. And I was like, yeah, bro, like if I get drafted, I get drafted. Like if I don't, I'm still gonna be where you at. Like we still gonna play against each other. That was out of my, he was like, nah, bro, like you getting drafted right now. And then like I hung up from him, and then I got the call. And the call, bro, I was at home, I was chilling with the fam, bro, and I was just like dang, bro, like it's really real. Like me and my brother are both in the league together.
With the 98th pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Quincy Williams, linebacker, Murray State.
Just say this.
I saw it.
Congratulations to Jacksonville. You stumped the truck. We don't have the video. We don't have one of those, as we call the baseball cards.
Already?
So after that, man, I called my brother. I was like, bro, it happened. Like, we both in the league.
It was a happy moment, you know, when both of them got drafted, because that's what they wanted. So it was our thing, like I told you before, it was that whatever they wanted, we were going to support them. So we just did what we, could to support them. So I was happy for them. It was just like their dream, and a dream that came through with God's help.
You told me this was all about mama.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Well, I wouldn't be the person without help. My mom wouldn't instill the things in me, man. Instill discipline, effort, and accountability in me. So
my first dream for them was to finish college and go to school. That was number one through it all, was school. And she would have been very proud of them. I know she would have.
My first year in the league, let's talk about that. Oh my God. Listen, my first year in the league, I got drafted. They didn't have a clue who I was, none of that.
He wasn't even on Daniel Jeremiah's board, wasn't invited to the combine. 350 players are invited to the combine, and he's the older, unknown brother of Quinnen Williams, who played 5 years, redshirt year 2, at Murray State. Quincy Williams, Jacksonville Jaguars. I cannot wait to know more about you because I gotta be honest, coming into this draft, I didn't know squat about you.
It was like, who is Quincy Williams? That was like the thing when I got drafted. So I'm like, all right, I already had a chip on my shoulder going into camp. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make a name for myself. Boom. I ain't had no name at Murray State. I ain't had no name during the draft process. I'm Quinnen's younger brother, even though I was the oldest brother. So then they corrected that, like, all right, he's the oldest brother of Quinnen Williams. So it's like, now I gotta make a name for myself. So coming in, I was supposed to sit behind Telvin Smith. He ended up leaving, so now I ended up starting my first year. It was kind of hard. Then it was like, also transitioning to the NFL was kind of hard too, though. My brother helped me out with that. As far as like his knowledge of the game also, like he knows linebacker also, so he helped me out with that a lot. Having a brother in the league and that's also going through it from the same household, same everything, you have a person you can lean on, be like, bro, it's hard out here. And be like, bro, it's cool, because it's also hard out here.
It was excellent because they could call each other, and they were, although in different states and everything, they could call each other, get support from each other, what's going on here, what you need to improve in. They would watch each other and they would say, hey, you need to do this, or you need to move this way, or you need to do that. So it was great. But for us, it was going to Jacksonville and going to Newark it was a trip. We had to choose, okay, we're gonna go this game, this time, that game, just make the choice of where we were gonna go.
And I didn't think I was getting cut at all. Getting cut by the Jaguars was kind of crazy. So it's like your whole world ends. So like, all right, you done got here for 2 years, you done made it to where you want to do, now you cut. Like, so what are you gonna do for the rest of your life? Like, in an hour, I was like, dang, what am I gonna do for the rest of my life? Then my brother actually called me and was like, man, I heard what happened, bro. Like, just stay humble, bro. Just like keep working, you're gonna be good. And I was like, nah, bro, it's over with. Like, it's over. So then I get a call from the Jets, like, hey, you're gonna be a Jet. And then, so it's like, it started all the way over again. He's like, bro, it's like high school all over again. We're gonna be on the same team, we're gonna feed off each other, and we're gonna ball out together.
Did you ever think in your wildest dreams when you guys were growing up that you would be suiting up in the National Football League on the same roster?
Nah, not on the same team, but we both had a dream. Like, we both definitely dreamed being in the NFL, but definitely not on the same team. I always been like playing against each other and stuff like that, but never on the same team. So
I said, thank God, because I don't have to do all that extra traveling.
So it's kind of like one of those things where it made his game go up, but it also made my game go up too, though.
I think it built their relationship closer to, than what it was, and because they hate each other to depend on. So I think that made their relationship much better. But being them together made it much easier for their grandmother.
You guys were awarded Quincy and Tim off of the waiver wire. Can you just go through what those two guys bring specifically and how you'd like to use them?
Yeah, so starting with Quincy, we had just remembering him through the draft, and obviously he was in Jacksonville where they were running a very similar system to ours his first 2 years. He's got, he is Quinnen's brother. He's got a tremendous amount of length for his size, and he's extremely fast and violent. And to get him back into the system, we just, he's been injured in his first couple of years with little minor stuff, but to get him in the system where we feel like he belongs, we're excited about the possibility that and the growth that we can see out of him.
Every game, every practice is showing people that I'm the best linebacker in the league. Not really like proving nobody wrong, but proving myself right.
I'm the winner, the finisher, vendor, the better, just go and get out of my way. I'ma keep fighting the thunder, the lightning, you frightened, it's best to stay out of my lane. Now with the talking, you better keep walking, it's about to get popping for real.
Under pressure, he's hit in the backfield and sacked again. Quincy Williams gets home.
Ready to fight. Ready to win. That tick-tock go. That click-clack go.
Back back to throw as Allen steps up in the pocket. Under pressure and sacked at midfield. Quinnen Williams.
Ready to fight. Feel it within. Ready to fight. Ready to win. Ready to fight. Ready to win.
I'm here to tell you that the Pro Bowl is a cool honor, but making first team Associated Press All Pro, that's the ultimate, and you made the team. You're on it. So,
Oh, yeah. Hey, that's a big accomplishment right there. That's another thing that I had wanted to make sure I had made too, though. That's huge.
I play linebacker here.
Quincy.
Yeah.
You know,
Man, where your brother at?
he probably at the
Bro, your head got business, I see you.
What's up?
You done got better at that game?
Yeah, I ain't losing no more.
For real? What position you play?
I'm
finna play cornerback.
Finna play cornerback? Play cornerback.
I'm finna play cornerback.
Well, you don't play right now? What you
Well, I recently played wide receiver though.
Oh, okay. You play too? Play receiver? Aight. Try to get a little warm up in and stuff.
You finna deliver the camera.
I thought you said he play receiver. Hold on now, he got hands like a snake. Come on, let me see what you got. Let me see. Did you say you playing corner? You finna get, come on over here. Nah, move back. Hey, you say you finna play corner, let me get right. Oh, yeah, That little holding. Yeah, there you go.
I am really, really, really proud of Quincy. Quincy has worked hard to get, the recognition that he should have been getting. But I am really, really proud of him.
I'll be honest, when I sit on this porch, bro, I really just give thanks, honestly. Like, I don't ask for nothing. We have conversations about stuff, but when I sit on here by myself, bro, I just give thanks, bro, because when I sit here, it reminds me, like, I remember all the memories I had. I remember all the good and bad memories I had, but I also remember what, like, molded me to the man I am now. Like, all those good and bad memories molded me to the man I am now. And I'm gonna be honest with you, bro, I wouldn't change it for anything.
Man, I'm just glad to see him come back. I saw Quinnen. He came and worked out a few times with our kids last spring. But to see them guys thriving in the NFL, man, knowing that, what they had to overcome with the mom passing early on, just excited for them kids, man, really proud of them. And I just hate Cheatham not here to, to kind of witness how far they're really going in the NFL. He was around for the draft, but just being able to see them guys really dominate the league like that, man, I think Cheatham would be so proud of.
Cuts it left, dragged down behind the line of scrimmage by Quincy Williams.
There's not a better backer in the NFL right now. He is playing at an elite level.
How often is it that you literally see two brothers? I mean, two brothers playing on the same team, all pros, pro bowlers. I mean, that's special. That is absolutely special. And I mean, that's a dream in itself.
Now, if you wasn't a Jets fan, you are now. We're just so proud to say that they are Winona guys with the accomplishments that they have.
I'm proud of them as football players. I'm glad they're getting to do what they love to do. It's something that they enjoy. And because it's something they enjoy, they're having fun doing it. But they're being fathers. That is what's important to me. They're being community men.
Swift running right. He's hit behind the line and dropped by Quincy Williams.
I don't regret a lot of stuff I did, bro. I don't think about, wish I had other stuff or nothing like that, bro. Like, I really just give thanks.
It's pretty cool to see him get paid and see him be here for the next 3 years because the caliber player he is.
But being, being upstanding gentleman and trying to do things in their community to, uplift other young people to do the things that they've done and let them know that if I did it from where I'm from, that you can also achieve with your goal and what you want in life.
Hey, that's because of all your hard work. That's because of all your hard work. Now you keep grinding.
If a younger you was sitting here today, what would you tell them? And what I tell them is, bro, just keep going. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Like, if you want to keep going, like, there's light at the end of the tunnel.